In 1975, the bicentennial loomed, polyester reigned, and horror was evolving, becoming smarter, stranger, in some cases, slimier.
Was this before or after you got kicked out of Studio 54 for bringing a fog machine?
Oh, before. I hadn't learned yet that fog and disco don't mix. Let's rewind to a year of paranoia, parasites, and one very hungry shark. The original blockbuster, Jaws. We won't spend too much time because we devoted a whole video to the 50th anniversary of Jaws. It was a cultural reckoning, directed by then 27-year-old Steven Spielberg. It turned a plastic shark and John Williams' two-note theme into a cinematic legend.
I read the shark broke down so much they named it Bruce out of spite.
Oh, correct. Bruce, the shark, barely worked, but that only made the terror worse. Spielberg filmed around the problem, creating unseen tension that made audiences fear the water itself. Filmed on location in Martha's Vineyard with real townspeople as extras, the shot ran 100 days over schedule due to weather, boat malfunctions, and of course, Bruce's rebellious streak. As we said before, John Williams' score was originally laughed at by Spielberg until he realized it was the film's heartbeat. Jaws didn't just chomp on the box office record, it rewired how fear worked. It gave us primal horror, summer horror, tourism-ending horror. From the beach to the burbs, the Stepford Wives.
In the town of Stepford, the men are getting exactly what they always dreamed of, perfect wives, and the dream is becoming a nightmare for the Stepford Wives. A very modern suspense story from the author of Rosemary's Baby.
The Stepford Wives took horror out of the haunted houses and planted firmly in well-manicured lawns.
Oh, right. The movie where every wife is a perfect homemaker. Because they're robots?
Oh, essentially, yes.
No, you look. Joanna. How could you do a thing like that?
Based on Ira Levin's novel, this tale follows a woman who moves to a seemingly idyllic town only to discover the women are being replaced by obedient, soulless versions of themselves. Imagine your spouse suddenly loving vacuuming and not arguing. Ooh, terrifying. Filmed in Connecticut in an actual upper-class suburb, the term Stepford wife entered the cultural lexicon after the film and is still used today to describe eerie perfection. Critics didn't know what to make of it in 1975. It was seen as either a feminist horror or an anti-woman cautionary tale. But the truth, it was a cold-blooded commentary on control.
Like Desperate Housewives meets Get Out.
Exactly, but with more ironing and fewer memes. Ah, yes. Camping, that wholesome family pastime until Satanists show up, race with the devil.
Relentless. I sure think they killed her.
Back! Frank, they've seen us. And get trapped in an unbelievable nightmare.
This one's insane. It's like a road trip movie with ritual sacrifice.
Race with the Devil stars Peter Fonda and Warren Oates, who witness a murder in the desert only to realize the killers belong to a massive satanic cult. The rest of the film is one long gas-fueled chase with demonic undertones. It was shot in Texas with real RVs, dirt roads, and practical stunts, featuring chilling performances from actors who leaned into the satanic panic tone of the decade. The final scene, an infamous ending with zero closure, just fire and doom.
Honestly, this movie felt like if Scooby-Doo was rated R and no one made it out alive.
A perfect summary, Jodie. It's gritty, paranoid, and pure 70s. Trust no one, camp nowhere. Let's do the time warp again.
You've seen all kinds of movies, but you've never seen anything like the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They're probably foreigners with ways different than our own.
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
see the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
A cult phenomenon born in 1975, part horror, part musical, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is the gothic glam Frankenstein mashup we didn't know we needed. Aliens, murder, mad science, and more sequins in a Vegas graveyard. It bombed in its initial release, but became a midnight movie sensation, complete with props, callbacks, and cosplay. Tim Curry's performance as Dr. Frankenfurter is one of horror cinema's most iconic. It blends classic Universal Monsters aesthetic with the sexual liberation and rock opera chaos.
Is it horror, though?
Oh, it's horrifically fabulous, dear boy. And there's a chainsaw in one scene. That counts, Jodie. Ooh, our final entry oozes in from the mind of a young David Cronenberg. Shivers.
On this island, in this building, through this door, down this hallway, lies the most frightening experience of your life. What are they? Raging demons that must be exorcised, bloodthirsty creatures that must be killed, or incarnations of absolute evil. They came from within. They possess men, women, and children, and drive them to acts of unbelievable horror. No one is safe from them. No power on earth can stop them. The only escape is death. They came from within.
Shivers is body horror at its most invasive.
This is the one where parasites spread through a fancy apartment complex?
Correct. A high-rise becomes ground zero for a sexually transmitted slug that turns people into violent, lustful zombies. It's Cronenberg's debut and already dripping with themes that would define his career: infection, transformation, and the breakdown of identity. Originally titled They Came From Within, now which may be too accurate. The film was partially funded by the Canadian government.
Sure, that's what Canadian hospitality is all about.
Which caused controversy once the full plot came out. Critics at the time were appalled, but horror fans embraced it as a new kind of fear. The kind that spreads inside you.
This one made me never trust elevators again.
And that, my dear nephew, is the Cronenberg guarantee. So there you have it, the top 5 horror films of 1975, where monsters weren't just in the woods or the oceans, they were in your neighborhood, your bloodstream, and your cultural identity.
Trust no one, don't swim, don't camp, don't move to the suburbs, and definitely don't French kiss a parasite.
Oh, sage advice, as always. Until next time, Fright fans, keep your reels spinning, your lights dimmed, and your guests scream thoroughly.